So Paul Pogba, he was spotted, training at the University of Miami. Paul Pogba is arguably one of the best midfielders of his generation. I'm sure we've all seen, wonderful highlights of his shots or his assists, whether it's at Man United or Juventus. But, when I'm looking at this, he can literally train anywhere in the world, but he chose to train in Miami. And then he also chose to post about it, right? Which has gotten me a bit suspicious here. That I think he has a strong case of possibly signing for Inter Miami, right? Let me get my points across first, and then let me know what you guys think, okay? Don't yell at me. Yeah? Okay. So we saw some photos produced of him with David Beckham, and why is he meeting Inter Miami's owner? Nothing's really gonna happen. I know he didn't post it, but there's always intention behind things, right? I don't think he's gonna directly post with David Beckham at Inter Miami on his account because that's obviously too obvious, right? But I see him here with Beckham. He's taking photos with Serena Williams. I mean, these are all amazing athletes, right? We also have one football posting about, Inter Miami, Pogba in an Inter Miami jersey. It's got me suspicious. And I think one thing that you need to consider is how much family matters. I know he has some young kids, and maybe Pogba's testing out Miami. Maybe he wants to see if he likes living there. Um, and then that kind of gave me an idea or reminded me of something that happened in the past where I worked somewhere near Sierra Canyon at the time. This is back before LeBron James was at the Lakers. But I knew a friend of a friend of a friend that knew someone that was a teacher there. And I believe like 1 or 2 years before LeBron James signed to the Lakers, they all knew that he was going to sign to the Lakers simply because Bronny James had already done all the paperwork, I believe, to come to Sierra Canyon. So, I mean, that's definitely a factor, right? I don't know if anybody keeps up with that, but that's definitely a big tell because everybody at that school knew that LeBron James was coming to the Lakers before anybody else. And maybe that's something to keep in mind as well, right? If there's any news that comes out with his kids possibly, being signed up for schools in Miami, maybe private or like charter schools. I mean, that's a dead tell that he's probably gonna come to Inter Miami. I think Pogba fits the profile too. That MLS loves older European stars. Uh, Pogba's pretty much won everything. He's won the World Cup. He's got the Serie A. He's got the Europa League. He pretty much fits that MLS superstar profile. You know what I mean? Also, another thing to consider is just like the pressure, maybe how people treat you in the different leagues, right? Soccer's still growing in the U.S. I'd like to say maybe it's still a little bit smaller than Europe, maybe a lot. So there's probably going to be less media pressure for him here. And, with his kids, I'm sure he doesn't want his kids seeing, people yell at him, especially because of the nature of why he wasn't playing soccer, football, you know, for I believe 3 or 4 years, right? Um, Another thing is, could we see Pogba possibly take a role in media? Working in CBS, working with ESPN. Would it be a good collaboration with him, Thierry Henry, Kate Scott, Michael Richards, Jamie Carragher? I feel like that'd be an interesting mix, like two Frenchmen, right? Who knows? I'm just throwing stuff out here. I'm kind of just rambling. But another thing I thought about, right, and that just came to mind is an ad. We have a video with Paul Pogba and IShowSpeed, and I know Speed primarily does, Twitch, right? Or he does like YouTube Live. So this wasn't too long ago where he and Speed both did a collaboration, right? And then this is what I mean by people don't do things without intention. As we all know, IShowSpeed has a big American audience as well as European, and he's definitely has a big presence in US soccer, I believe, right? A lot of people watch him, or just soccer in general, he has a big impression. But particularly in the US, right? We see Paul Pogba here. Is it like a marketing tool for him to, work with IShowSpeed and then, go to the MLS, and maybe people that didn't know him before will know who he is now because of IShowSpeed? I know how crazy that sounds, but I'm sure IShowSpeed's audience is young people as well that might not know who Pogba is. Shocking, I know. But, soccer's growing in the US, so you can't get too mad at us, right? Let me just come up with some like counter arguments, right? I know Inter Miami doesn't have a designated player spot open because they have Messi, Busquets, and Alba. But one thing I did really consider is we do talk about transfer rumors, and I have seen a lot of buzz about Messi possibly going back to Barcelona for his last dance. I mean, that could be Pogba's way into the Inter Miami squad, right? Could we see Sergio Busquets retiring? I know he still has a couple more years of football, but is that a possibility? Um, I mean, if that doesn't happen, we also have the salary cap. That could be a possible issue for Pogba. Um, this is highly unlikely, but could they be offering Pogba an expansion team? Probably not, because he hasn't been active in the sport, but who knows? There's definitely a lot of places that soccer could be in, right? I'm pretty sure we can get another team in San Diego. We can probably get another team in Texas. That would be interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, is he just generating buzz for like a comeback? Is he just posting stuff just because he wants to, you know, create buzz about him coming back? Another thing is maybe I'm just over speculating, right? And could he be training and just recovering? Maybe he has an injury that we don't know about, right? Because could he just be doing that? Because I do know a lot of European players do come to the U.S., get surgeries, do rehab there, and they come back as soon as they're fit. Let me know in the comments, guys. I mean, I feel like I have a strong case here, but maybe I'm crazy. Let me know, guys.